Another reason why I feel Gemini is low on this list is because they are also not faithful in the sense with, like, how they handle information. Like, they don't care to, like, share the tea. You know what I mean? Like, they will share the tea. Like, they don't care to be gossipers. Like, they share that information willingly.
Yeah,
and
freely.
People share that information
They're generous
willingly
with it.
to them, too. So, like, you know, maybe y'all are fucking up, too, by sharing all that information with a Gemini, feeling way too comfortable. But that is another reason why I feel like Gemini could be low, is, like, low on this list, is because they aren't always faithful in terms of, like,
their words.
I shared this information with you and you shared it with everybody else.
Yeah. They're very free flowing when it comes to things. Again, they don't want to be bounded. Just like their sister sign, Sagittarius. Yeah.
We don't understand
why. They're like that, like, forever young. You know what I mean? Like, they truly never want to grow up. Like, growing up is a concept that is very boring to them. Yeah. And because of that, I feel like the idea of being completely tied down, they don't want to be tied down. No. Like, it's just not the idea that they have for themselves and life. Watching, you know, a lot of times you think you know who you are. I'm not saying for me, but I think a lot of people assume that they know themselves, but who are you really at your core when you're not living life by the code of other people? Like, when you're not doing things based off of how it will be received. Yeah. Like, if no one was there to judge you, what kind of day would you have? What kind of opinions would you have? Like, that's who you really are. Yeah. But maybe it's for good reason that other people can shame you to being a better person. Like, maybe that's a great thing. Yeah. But, like, also, I would like to know how people are if no one was watching. Yeah. You know, because that's really who you are. I want to be forking for real. Be forking for real. No, I 100% agree with you. I feel like I think about this a lot when I go to concerts. Yeah. Or, like, really any big, I guess, like, musical or, like, comedy event, and I see people recording it the whole time. Yeah. Rather than just enjoying the show. It's like, you're here live. Yeah. No, like, you're so right. Enjoy this moment. And when all those cameras are around, I feel like it makes other people subconsciously be a little nervous, and then they don't go all crazy out, and all out when the song is on. You're so right. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of like you were saying, who are you when no one is watching? And I feel that way in the sense, too, with our social media. You know, like, that's why they don't allow freaking cameras in your phones at these celebrity parties, because they're doing wild shit and they don't want people to see. It's true. Because who are we when no one is looking? You're your real self. When you feel no one's going to be judging you. Yeah. Yeah. You're probably doing what you really want to be doing. Yeah. Yeah. You know? I mean, everything you choose to put online, you're further portraying that story about yourself that you want to sell. I'm happy. I go on walks. I love this. You know what I mean? You're not, like, actively doing that like a robot, but, like, that's what we're putting out there. Like, everything that is, like, on brand to who you are. And you're usually trying to portray a good brand for yourself. Like, you're sharing the good things. That's what everyone says about social media. It's the highlight reel, the good times of your life. You're not posting the bad shit, but that's exactly what makes it dangerous, is that it further perpetuates this idea of, for some of us, life is just good all the time. Yeah. You know? Like, I only have good days. Everyone else is just happy. And good things happen to me every day. And I'm always pretty, and I wake up like this. Oh my gosh. You know? That's why you have to follow, like, realistic people. That's on capitalism. And that's on capitalism. And you could also look like this and be happy all the time if you just bought these favorite products of mine. A lot of you have been asking what I use to look this happy. You know what? And this is the recipe. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's crazy, actually, though, too. It is on capitalism. How you can pay. Like, celebrities are, like, on payroll to be getting facials. You know what I mean? Literally. Like, to be getting these treatments and stuff. And that's fucking crazy. And they're out here saying, like,
this is what I used to look like
CeraVe.
Like, bitch, you are using La Mer, $500 per fucking You're bottle.
Getting a facial a month.
Literally. But it's just wild, because, that is the power of fame.
Yes.
You know? People will always assume that you have this crazy advice. You know what I mean? Like, you have this crazy recommendation that makes me look like you. That makes me feel how luxurious you feel, even though you are a millionaire, billionaire.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, an average, hardworking person. I can feel like you by buying this product. That's the message that it's telling. And that's good marketing.
It is. And a lot of us eat it up because, again, the day-to-day life is mundane. I hate to break it to y'all.
Yeah.
But if you have stability and people who you love who make you laugh every once in a while and you have a good meal, you're doing good, okay?
Yeah.
You can't, like, put stuff on such a pedestal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You can't.
And that is also on capitalism. Because of just how much the rich are eating and how little there is for us. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, it's a whole nother story. And while we are storytellers, oh my gosh.
That is not the story we are here to tell today.
No. Today we are here to discuss the least faithful zodiac signs. If you are here from part 1, we went through the first 6 signs on that list. And those were the most faithful signs. Faithful signs. So watch that video if you haven't already. And now we're going to go through the bottom 6. What's so funny? The fact that I said the bottom? I mean, that's factually
true.
Because
I'm thinking about last week and how upset I was. And I was like, I'm a bottom bitch. Like,
you say, actually, quote, I'm just a bottom bitch hoe up in here. End quote.
I'm just like a bottom bitch hoe up in here. I just need to say.
That's what you said.
Love that. Even better.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is funny.
So, I mean, let's just get into it. I hope everyone's having a beautiful week. Let's giggle. Let's talk some shit. Let's make some cases. You know?
All right, so 7th place.
Yep.
From the list. Remember, and if you're looking for the first part, if you're like, oh my god, I don't hear my sign.
It was probably in the... And I'm going to post the list right here. So now you see what first 6 signs we talked about.
Yes.
And I'm incorporating this new thing on the podcast based off of what subscribers said. I'm going to start putting... I'm going to section up each topic of conversation. So you can probably hover over and see exactly where each sign is and what our intro is and all the topics of conversation on podcast episodes.
Nice.
Yes.
Love that organization.
Yes. You know, the people ask and we give what they want. I'm a giver. For you, my friend.
For you?
I give and I give.
For you?
For you? Oh. $5 off for you.
Yes. All right.
Okay. So, number 7, we got Pisces.
Oh, Pisces.
I mean, I think it's good that Pisces is roaming that middle wave. I think it's good for a lot of the mutables to be in this bottom part, you know? Because, as we know, mutable signs, they crave change and variety, and their mind changes, and Pisces is a water sign, so their emotions are constantly changing about situations. While they can be the biggest lovers and they love romance, if they're in that confused state, whether whether it has something to do with their personal life or about the situation, about the relationship. If they're confused about it, they're roaming that fence of like, yeah, we're together, but like, I don't know, we're not that serious. And like, it gets a little murky, the boundaries of like how serious they're taking this relationship, or if it is just a fling, while the other is taking it very seriously. Yeah. So Pisces is a lover, but also have that Neptunian influence of like, that's not really my reality. Yeah. Us being exclusive isn't my truth. Pisces don't fuck with you if that's the case. I just have to say.
For sure.
I know Pisces energy, and they get obsessed when they love you. Mm-hmm. So if they're being wishy-washy, they don't fuck with you. Their mind is elsewhere. They're dreaming about the person they want.
100%.
What do you think?
I also like them kind of here in the middle, because I feel like Pisces loves love. Yeah. And when they are lost, sometimes I feel like whoever may be giving it to them the most at that time, they will drift a little bit more that way. I mean, they're mutable. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it's like whoever's going to sell them the best dream, kind of. Yeah. Like, you know, like
I like that.
And they're very open to who could be the best potential suitor for them, you know? But I do feel like once they lock in on you, they can be very loyal. But you also have to be giving to them. That's what is something that is very, I think, different about them as mutable. I mean, or being water is like they really need you to be giving back to them just as much. Like, and if not, they're going to check out very quickly. I feel like the other water signs will work a little bit harder. Like, okay, what's going on here? Like, Pisces just kind of like, they're just going to get a little weird.
Pisces is all about the vibes. And if they feel like the vibes ain't hitting right, they're going to be like, I'm not wanted here.
You know? Maybe I want to go here.
Yeah. You know? No, seriously. And I have seen the discourse online. People are mad at Pisces men. And I'm just like, wow. Like, I didn't know. But I believe. I know. So if you are a victim of Pisces men, share your story.
Yeah, I want to know.
I want to know what the fuck, because
I have to say I've only known nice Pisces
Me too.
Personally.
But you know what?
I believe there's toxic ones. I know there are.
Share the other side.
Yeah, tell me. Oh, I just thought of a toxic one.
Well, Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
Is that the one you were thinking of?
No, I was thinking of a personal one.
Like a person that you know.
Yeah, a person that I know.
I'm like, share it. Let's go.
Like, let's go up.
Oh, see, I love that you know. See? Wow, that's
He's a very toxic Pisces man.
And honestly, I could see them being really, really good at playing, again, like I said, playing that role of like, I don't want to use like buzzwords like gaslighting, but in the same element of gaslighting. Yeah. I could see Pisces energy at their low vibration, like being a good gaslighter, because they're riding that middle wave of like, well, like, are we even really together? Because like you didn't text me back, and like I thought that meant that we're done, and like that's why I was with so and so. But you know, I love you. I love you, and I'm obsessed with you, and while I was with her, all I thought about was you, and now you're thinking you're special. You're thinking that means something. And that's all wrong.
It is wrong.
They are feeding you a fantasy that is false. Yes. But boy, does it feel sweet hearing it.
And that's the problem.
That fairy tale.
With the water
You can get a little spooky with Pisces.
Well, because I feel like they all can read you, and they see that, and they use that to your advantage. I feel like water signs can use that to their advantage. Sometimes for the good.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously sometimes for the bad, too.
Bad at this, too. Yeah, totally.
And, I mean, it's the beauty and, like, the negative of it, right? Because it can be such passionate, intuitive, empathetic relationships, right? But also it can be very like manipulative at times of like, well, is this how you're feeling? And this is how you need to feel.
Yeah. And someone that is very much in tune with their feelings when they're expressing anything, even if it's a lie, I feel like it is very convincing because the way they're expressing it is very emotional, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes when you're on the other side of that, you're receiving that emotional energy, you can't help but think that it's real. Like, of course it's real. Well, like, look how emotional they are.
Right.
But you forget that, like, people can turn on the waterworks.
Yes.
As a form of manipulation.
Yes.
You know? People. Okay, next is number 8. And we have Libra. Libra, where did you think you were going to be? Of course you were going to be here, you little how. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like they should be. Well.
Oh, is this who you were going to throw under the bus?
This is who I'm throwing under the bus.
Your own moon sign?
They should be lower.
Listen, there's a lot of things Libra is known for. Being diplomatic, bringing the peace, bringing the looks.
The looks, yes, the looks.
Loyalty is not in the forte of Libra. And again, we might need to remind people, if it's your first video watching in this series, everyone has an archetype. So when we're talking about these signs, don't think if you're this sun sign, like that means that you're not good at being loyal.
Right.
I don't know your chart. I don't know your energy. I don't know your environment growing up. All these things lead to what type of person you are in relationships. But we're talking about the archetype, the energy of each sign. And the Libra energy to me is very fluid and it seeks flirtatious encounters.
Yes.
Libra has the silver tongue and they enjoy a little banter. They're good at flirting. They're probably always doing it. And to a lot of people, the way Libra talks and how comfortable Libra is with everyone, some people might look at that as like, you're flirting, like you're disrespecting the relationship.
Yes.
For Libra, that's like, that's how I communicate. That's how I talk to everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because it's so easy for Libra to make new connections, it puts them in more situations to be unfaithful.
Yes.
Because they're so highly favored in the dating scene. Both Libra men and women.
Yes.
This energy, this Venusian energy is really good at surrounding themselves with also beautiful people, you know, charming people.
Yes.
They're very social. They're always meeting new people. Like this just sets it up for someone to be in more scandalous situations.
Yes. And here's my thing. What I honestly think about Libras. I feel like Libras can be very picky at times. Yeah. You know, and that is why sometimes people are like, oh, we're indecisive, right? But we're just actually very picky and particular about the things that we like and that we want. Yeah. And it is constantly therefore changing. We are also an air sign at the end of the day, right? So I feel like in trying to find that balance, we're constantly looking for something that is making us happier at that moment. You know what I mean?
And it can change moment to moment.
Yes. And I understand why, I guess, also in a very stereotypical way, why Libra could be seen as someone who's faithful. Because I feel like in relationships, obviously they seek harmony at pretty much all costs, right? So I feel like if a partner is like, oh, I don't want to do this, Libra will be very supportive of that. Yeah. And be like, okay, well, maybe I won't go with you as well. Yeah. Or I support you in this and I'm still going to go. Yeah. You know, depending on how strong they are in their own essence. But I feel like Libra will be supportive of you and your decisions. And that is something that is, like, very positive in making relationships last long. You know, not everyone is willing to make compromises in relationships.
Exactly.
Which is something you have to do to make any relationship work. Like, ever. Yep. And Libra, to their essence, understands that. Sometimes to a fault. Yeah. Right? But also, I see why, in a stereotypical way, Libra would be higher than moi. As a Sagittarius.
Well, I'm not done with the beatdown of Libra yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay, so I also feel like because, again, Libra energy in general, because it wants to agree with everyone, it truly doesn't do well with confrontation.
Yeah, no.
And the longest lasting relationships, you learn how to fight well together. Yeah. Both of you guys are very in tune with expressing your sadness, anger, your negative emotions. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you're not being resentful because you're hiding little things that bother you about each other.
Yeah.
That's what makes healthy, long-standing relationships, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I feel like because Libra has such a hard time with disagreeing, with expressing things that are bothering them, as soon as shit gets a little too serious and maybe the disagreement pops up, instead of handling it and dealing with it and moving on, they look for a new partner where they don't have to deal with the ugly feelings and emotions with. And that makes them, I feel like, maybe tap out of relationships too quickly. When shit gets a little bit too difficult, they're out.
Yes.
And again, not all Libras.
Right.
The sign.
Mm-hmm. Archetype, even stereotype.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. So that's how I think about it. And that's why I think that they would be lower on the list.
Yeah.
But when they are very much in love, like, again, this is a Venus-ruled sign, they are in it. They love. They love partnership. They love feeling supported. They love having someone they can lean on. Mm-hmm. You know? They are relationship types.
Yes.
Sure, Libra may be on these streets, but only because they're ready to go home with somebody.
Yes, your Libra should also be showing you off. I feel like that's a big key.
That's a thing.
If they're like a little shy of you and not like introducing you or something, or like not proud of your accomplishments, kind of not talking you up, like, no. That Libra ain't really fucking with you like that.
No.
All right, 9th place is Aries. How do you feel about that?
I feel like Aries needs to be higher.
I agree.
Like,
I want Aries higher.
I want Aries higher too. Like, I genuinely feel like Aries is a devoted lover.
Yes.
They
100%.
get obsessed with people. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they start thinking like life doesn't have flavor without this person. You know what I mean? Like, when Aries gets excited about you, you are like a drug to them. Mm-hmm. You know, they're like adrenaline junkies when it comes to love. And I feel like they just, although they have the energy to be talking it up with multiple people, like Aries energy in general wants to focus on something that brings them great pleasure, you know, because they are that first sign of the Zodiac, and they're very much like that lone soldier. Like, they're looking for the Bonnie to their Clyde. Yeah. You know?
100%. I feel like they're action oriented with their love, and I feel like all the people in the top 6 are also very much that way with their love. And I don't know where I would put them, because I do kind of like the top 6 up there, but I would definitely put them Aries like higher.
I feel like I would honestly put Aries in 5th place.
Ooh, take out Cancer?
Yeah, by Cancer. And everyone can get knocked down.
I'm kind of feeling that more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
also,
I'm feeling that.
I just feel like Aries is going to tell you if they don't fucking like you and they don't like what you've been doing. They're very direct. You can probably tell from the way they're... You know what I mean?
100%.
You know when an Aries likes you and when an Aries doesn't like you anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they value... Okay, so here's another thing that I find what is faithful in relationships is being honest, having honest communication. Yeah. Being authentic with one another. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's something that Aries, like, energy demands of you. Yeah. And that is why I would put them higher up in the list for me as being faithful.
Yeah. So now that we've discussed why we think, let's get into the why they are lower on this list if someone were to put them here. Yeah. Which is the person that created this. Yes. I think Aries gets bored easily. Yes. And if they feel like they don't respect... I mean, anyone that's being unfaithful, they don't respect you. But I mean, is that wrong?
No, like, you ain't wrong.
You know what I mean?
You ain't wrong.
They don't respect you. But, like, I feel like when Aries doesn't respect you or find you fun anymore, they have the connections and they have the groups and they have the people to be out and about. Yes. Again, this is also a very social sign.
100%.
That has a lot of energy to burn off. So I could also see them having the energy to entertain multiple wives. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Spreading their
like, you know how they say, like, oh, I can't cheat. Like, I'm way too lazy. Like, this is the hard-working sign.
You are not
Am I wrong? They got that Martian energy.
No, they got that Martian energy, and they are ready to spread the seed. It is true. It is true. I also think, obviously, again, stereotypically, Aries will be very selfish. And at the end of the day, if they're not fucking with what is going on, they will leave you.
Yeah.
In a partnership, in a friendship, in a whatever. They don't give a fuck. They are gone up out of there.
They're so gone.
So they, like, if they ride with you, they're going to be faithful. But also, if you want some dumb shit, bye.
Honestly, Aries is the type to cheat on you and then yell at you for, like, not knowing that it was happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what? They're just, like, kind of intense in the sense that there's no take backsies. Like, yeah, I did it.
Yes.
And this is why I did it. Like, they kind of have no shame.
Yeah.
And, like, that's one of the things that I love about Aries usually is the fact that they have no shame and they're the first person to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
But in the in relation to this list and being faithful, I feel like in general, you want people to be humble when they make mistakes, and Aries also doesn't have that in them either. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're like, yeah, I did it and I'll do it again. And like that, I feel like takes some points from them too.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
Because they're not like as like elusive as like a Pisces or a Libra. Like, it was because of this, and like, well, you know, I didn't even know. They're like, yeah, I did it and I'll do it again.
Right.
Because you just weren't enough. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure.
You know? That warrior spirit is a little scurry.
It is.
When it's vengeful.
I mean, you want to make sure that you're, like, keeping up. Providing. Like, they definitely, they're like, come with it.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, I thought you meant, like, cheeks clapping, cheating on you.
But they will be doing that if you ain't coming with it.
Like, I just imagine
that's how their cheeks gonna be clapping.
I just imagine someone that's listening on the phone, they just hear, and they're gonna be like,
they're like, what?
What? You know, getting them cheeks clapped. No, yeah, I get it. They want you to be, Again, if the energy levels aren't lining up,
they need you to be doing your best.
And they also have a lot of, can we talk about this? I think Aries placements have some of the highest sex drives. That's like a thing. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, Aries, Mars, Scorpio, Mars, high sex drives. You know? So, like, Aries energy, they need someone that's keeping up with them, too. I could see them. I wonder what the statistics are of... If there was a statistic of, like, people who cheated because they weren't getting enough sex. Because there's a lot of other reasons people cheat, too. But, you know, sometimes not everyone's libido lines up. I wonder if, like, most of those are, like, Aries, like, placements because they maybe need it more. Now you taking your sip.
I need to see the study.
Me too. May we
Can
start
I run it?
Study?
Who wants to fund our study?
Imagine we become scientists.
That would be amazing. That would actually be pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then we would do TED Talks.
No, I literally. No, like, I would actually love a show that was just about, like, astrology and sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sextrology.
That'd be good. That'd be really good.
You know how many ideas we've had on here? Someone's taking them all down. They're
like,
I
know. They're like,
thank you for my other idea.
Right, fuckers. That is always how it goes, too. Like, when you say it.
Yeah. I know.
It becomes a thing.
It does. It does. Okay.
Number 10, 10th place.
Gemini. Him and I.
I feel this is appropriate.
I feel like it's good. Honestly, at the end of the day, the fact that you even got into a relationship with a Gemini, you were betting on yourself.
Right.
And you were betting on life.
Y'all had a lot of fun.
What you weren't betting on is this Gemini. Like, you should have known Gemini needs a cake and a piece of it too. That's not the saying, but you know what I mean.
I mean, it was pretty.
What was it? What's the saying? Oh, he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. Oh, I said a piece.
No, it is.
Like, of course, he got the cake and he wants a piece of it. Like, yeah, duh. Y'all know what I meant.
Yeah, wait, what is it?
The saying is, he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. Wait, isn't that what it is? But I said a piece of it. That's why it's wrong.
But it still just sounds wrong. Why can't he have the cake?
You can't have the cake and
cake and a piece of it too.
Maybe it should have been you can't have the cake and the pizza too. Pizza. You can't have the cake and the pizza.
What the fuck is that?
You have to pick. You can't have a piece of cake and eat it too. That's what it is. Yeah.
What's the saying? Hold on.
You cannot. Yeah, simultaneously. Yeah.
Yeah, can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a stupid...
It is a really stupid saying.
But, like, you know the sentiment.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Gemini has two sides to them. Yes. There's the side that wants to fit in and that wants to be in a committed relationship. But they also have this parasite in them.
I'm crying.
That wants to dabble in multiple people.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like
it's just more fun that way for them.
They need that.
I mean, we're not in Sagittarius yet, but it's like that Sagittarius bug. Where
we like
it's fun.
We like the mental stimulation.
Yeah, like new is fun.
Yes.
I enjoy new.
Yeah.
And Gemini likes to be mentally fucked.
Yep.
And when you are a human in the world, especially when you're a social human, as Gemini is, as soon as they wake up, either from their phone or going outside, they're constantly talking to people. Like, they're just naturally social people that are really good at communicating. Mercury ruled, and it's easy for them to make these connections. And because they're so funny, it kind of dissolves all barriers very quickly in every interaction that they have. Yep. So again, I feel like it puts them in a really easy place to, like, form connections with people, and that makes it easier for them to cheat. Yeah. Like, for them, it's like, it's easy. Like, this is life. Like, I talk to people. It gets romantic. We flirt. It's a vibe. I'm over it. Like, they don't take it too seriously because they know they're always going to meet someone else. It's not hard for them to meet new people.
No.
And it's not hard for them to let go of people.
No.
So, that's a good recipe for cheating.
Well, to me, they ultimately value their freedom a lot, right? Yeah. They like to be able to go here and there when they want without people necessarily asking for them.
Yeah.
That's when their, like, mutable energy comes. Like, I feel like they be wiggling up out of there sometimes, you know?
Well, as soon as there's rules in place, they get nervous.
They don't. Exactly.
What's a relationship?
You have expectations of me? I don't think I want to do that with you. I don't want to do that with you. Not right now.
No.
I'd rather be over here.
And although that sounds boring, that's what normal, healthy relationships are.
Yes.
You guys have boundaries. Mm-hmm. And there's certain things you don't do when you respect your partner. And although, yes, that is boring, blah, 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 but you do it for the safety of your partner and yourself.
Yes.
You know, you're creating a safe space in this relationship.
Yes.
And Gemini, to them, it's soul-crushing, the safe space.
Right. They hate it. It crushes their sense of freedom and their sense of self, and they feel like you are trying to change them, and then they reject you.
Yep. Yeah. Seriously.
Very harshly.
And it's crazy, because
Gemini... it is crazy if you catch him. It is kind of
like
crazy
Tinkerbell.
Because,
like,
you know,
it really is.
It is because I feel like they just also even prefer, like, they don't even usually like to, like, play that they're gonna be with you for long term. No. You know what I mean? Okay, another reason why I feel Gemini is low on this list is because they are also not faithful in the sense with, like, how they handle information. Like, they don't care to, like, share the tea, you know what I mean? Like, they will share the tea. Like, they don't care to be gossipers. They share that information willingly.
Yeah,
and
freely.
People share that information
They're generous
willingly
with it.
To them, too. So, like, you know, maybe y'all are fucking up, too, by sharing all that information with a Gemini, feeling way too comfortable. But that is another reason why I feel like Gemini could be low on this list, is because they aren't always faithful in terms of like
their words.
I shared this information with you, and you shared it with everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. They're very free flowing when it comes to things. Again. Yeah. They don't want to be bounded. Mm-hmm. Just like their sister sign, Sagittarius. Yeah.
We don't understand
why. They're like that, like forever young. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they truly never want to grow up. Like growing up is a concept that is very boring to them. Yeah. And because of that, I feel like the idea of being completely tied down, they don't want to be tied down. No. Like it's just not the idea that they have for themselves in life.
You're not growing. They think they're probably not growing. Yeah. Like, why would I stick in one
They
place?
feel like they're being held back, you know? Yeah, truly.
Not learning.
I mean, and think about it, like, when you think about, like, relationships, toxic ones usually, like, you're being controlled, you have to ask for permission, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're a unit, right. Like, Gemini is like, blah.
I hate all that.
Like, I'm gonna go throw up.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Right.
You know? And I'm here to remind everyone, you get to decide what kind of rules you want in your relationship. Every relationship is not the same. As long as you guys communicate about what you expect, you're good. If you guys want to fucking go out and you don't have to talk about what happens outside, you know what I mean? You can do that.
And there are some couples who totally do that.
And they love it.
Love it.
And they're happy.
They're so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
They get horny watching each other fucking flirt with other people.
No, literally. They love it. They live for it.
Not me, but...
And I think everyone deserves a chance to live the kind of love life that they want. We just have to be honest. Yes. You know? Because there's probably someone out there that wants the same thing as you.
Yes.
But because you're kind of downplaying what you really want and are molding yourself to fit in with the traditional way of things, you're taking away the opportunity for you to live your most fulfilled love life.
And have a deep connection.
Yeah.
And get the things
just
that you want.
Say it. Just say what you
want.
Say
the weird thing.
From the beginning, you know? So you can weed out the people that don't belong to your reality with ease. Yeah. Don't waste your time and other people's time. Mm-hmm. Be a hoe. Respectfully. Honestly.
Safely.
Seriously, be a hoe. Okay, 11th place we have Aquarius. I think it's pretty fucking accurate.
I mean...
It makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like...
How you feel about that?
I see it.
You have some shit to say about them too?
No, I mean, I understand why they're in the bottom. Yeah. I feel like they don't... We always say they're so okay with being the lone wolf. They don't give a fuck if you are being loyal to them. Well, that's not totally true. I feel like Aquarius does care when you're really with them. Yeah. You know, like they care about that loyalty. They're a fixed sign at the end of the day. But for anybody else, they're like, I don't give a fuck about what you think. I have no type of loyalty to you. Yeah. So I feel like people would naturally put them, to me, lower at the list. And obviously, as we've said before, they are notorious friend fuckers, so I feel like that is not like faithful. It's not the
best rep
It's not
to
a
have.
Good look.
I mean,
not a good look.
Yeah, no, not a good look. Aquarius, essentially, the loyalty always goes back to themselves and how much, again, they also don't play by the rules, you know? So, like, yes, while we said we're boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, blah, 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 I was so checked out at that time that I don't even consider that cheating. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that can also be a problem, is they're really good at playing that devil's advocate of, like, well, we never really confirmed that we were together. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're also really good at, like, kind of changing the dynamic of the relationship after the fact. Of like what we really meant to each other, and it's really, really hard for them to empathize with you if your feelings are hurt. I feel like Aquariuses, because they can be a little bit colder. Yeah. They don't really care if you felt like they weren't being loyal to you. They were living by their own code. Yeah. And that is what makes them feel the most comfortable. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're not bound by your rules and your beliefs of what was expected. No. They hate having any expectations on them, actually.
Yes, and I feel
authority. Who are you to tell me what to do in a relationship?
Yes, and honestly, in that sense, I feel like sometimes, too, they'll be, like, a little snooty and, like, overly, like, intellectualized, like, why it happened. But in that same breath, I will say, I feel like similar to Gemini, Aquarius needs that mental stimulation, right? And that's when I feel like they seek it out. If they're not getting that mental stimulation, like they're the type of people who I feel like need to like stay up and talk to you for hours. That's why they like fuck their friends, because who do you hang out with the longest? You know what I mean? Who you feel the most comfortable with. Yeah. It's your friend. That's ultimately who Aquarius feels the most comfortable with. Yeah. You know?
And I think it's actually, it makes a lot of sense because Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus, and like Uranus, there is no boundaries. The boundaries cease to exist.
That part.
If all the lines are blurred all the time and, you know, all the rules really blend together, like Aquarius doesn't feel the need to be loyal. You know what I mean? Like there is no boundaries. I treat everyone the same. Like, you know what I mean? And like in a relationship, a lot of times when someone is faithful, they're putting themselves in your shoes of like, how would this make you feel? I'm not going to do that to you. But Aquarius is like, I don't live by your rule book. I don't care that this makes you feel that way. That wasn't my intention. Therefore, it's not a problem.
Yes. And that's the peculiar...
And that can get a little dangerous too.
Yeah. And that's the peculiar thing about Aquarius is like, you have to find one that like jives with your values. Yeah. Like truly.
You're so right.
Otherwise, y'all are always going to be butting heads. Weird things will be happening. The energy just won't be right.
Yep.
You're going to be like,
the fuck?
The fuck?
Yeah. Literally. And it will kind of be, there's just no point about arguing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no changing their mind.
Right, but you're going to argue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unhealthy.
All right.
In 12th place, we have Sagittarius. Wow.
I think it makes sense. Again, you have to take yourself out of it. Sagittarius. This isn't about you.
I thought we decided Libra was last.
Wait, what? When did we decide that?
When we talked about Libra.
No. I decided it was lower.
Oh, but so we didn't agree
that. Well, to be honest with you, I think Aquarius and Sag. It's hard for me to pick who's 12. I will say, but definitely Libra's higher than both of them for sure. Okay. Libra's Venusian. Once you know what I mean. Like relationship is at their core, even though they're hoeing a little.
Crazy.
Okay.
She's like, you're taking it personal.
So, Sagittarius, again, this Jupiterian ruled sign, it wants to be free, and it doesn't want any limits on love.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And again, it's like, it's getting a little too serious. I'ma go. You know what I mean? And what happens in relationships when cheating happens or when people become unfaithful, you know? Like, it's not fun anymore. They're checked out. Yes. And I feel like when I think of Sagittarius energy, I think of checked out energy. Like, this was my normal, and the normal wasn't fun anymore, and I'm checked out, and I'm ready to go embark on a new journey. Yeah. You know, on a new boo. You know what I mean? A boo I've had on the back burner.
Hollering. Okay, yes, I'm trying to take myself out of it. You are not wrong. I feel like us Sagittarius are very... I mean, just like Gemini, we need our freedom. Yeah. You know? Above all, anything else. And as soon as somebody's like, you gotta do this, we're like, fuck you, can't do that. Yeah. And essentially, that is what someone is saying when they're like, asking you to be loyal. Yeah. At times, right? Yeah. They're like, do this for me, even though it doesn't make sense sometimes.
Yes. You just have to pick me all the time. Right. You know?
And Sag is like, well, sometimes that's not convenient for me. Like, it's not lining up. Like, it doesn't actually align with my values. So, I get it in that sense. Yeah. And two, that we're just hesitant to wanting to put restrictions on things.
Yeah. And I think I said this in the first video, like, when I think of being faithful or loyal or whatever, like, it's about having that conversation where you end it. You know what I mean? And, like I said, the bottom list, like, they don't necessarily feel the need to have a conversation where we're going to end this relationship or this situation. They'd much rather just dip the fuck out, you know what I mean? And just move on, like, not have to deal with the ugliness or the heaviness of this conversation or the fact that this didn't work. Like, clearly I wasn't talking to you. Like, couldn't you tell that we're not together anymore? You know what I mean? And that also, I see that with all these signs, and I see it with Sagittarius. Like, I don't want to tell you why this isn't working anymore. Like, from how I'm acting, you should be able to tell that I'm checked out. Yeah. Like, you'll know when a Sagittarius is happy because they're there, you know? And when they're not, they're probably with someone else that is making them happy. Yeah. You know? They don't want to deal... Again, this is a sign that doesn't like to deal with ugly feelings. Don't like the messiness. No.
We just like to keep it happy.
They want to keep it light. They want to keep it happy.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And when a situation... a relationship becomes ugly or it's not working anymore, Sag is very uncomfortable because they probably didn't even want to be in a relationship, but now that they're in one, like, they thought it was going to be good, but now it's not fun anymore, and they're ready to be around someone else that is making them happy and that they can be lighthearted with again. Yeah. Because when it gets too serious, they feel like their essence is being sucked out of them.
Yeah. For sure. And in some ways, it can be like, you know, Sagittarius is such a positive energy. People are being negative around them, like, that will bring them down, and they should dip up out of there. They need to be around people who are also thinking abundantly, otherwise it will start to take, I feel like, from their positive energy. You know what I mean? And I actually think I 100% agree with what you're saying. At our lowest vibration, we are really shitty. We will run away from a conversation like no other. But I also think that at our core, we really value honesty and, like, honest communication. Mm-hmm. And I think, I mean, as I think of myself now, more grown and, like, comfortable in myself, I would say this is why I'm not fucking with you anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? When I wasn't as comfortable in my energy and I didn't really fully understand why, like, I wasn't fucking with you anymore, I just didn't like your vibe, I would just dip. Yeah. But now I can place it better and I just be like, I'm not fucking with you because of this. Right. Bye-bye. Yeah. And I feel like that is a evolved Sagittarius. And I feel like in a relationship when they're, again, very happy, if you catch them, rarely like a Gemini, if you catch them, they can be loyal and faithful in the relationship because they love what you guys have together so much. They love the adventure that you have. They love the open communication that you have. That is harder to get, I feel like, sometimes with the Sagittarius. Yeah. Initially, you have to work a little bit harder. Again, that mutable energy. They're a little shifty. We're a little like, right. Are you gonna catch me?
You mold with me? Yes. That's another thing.
Because we like to flex in and out of spaces a lot. Yeah. And that makes some people feel uncomfortable. I think that's a lot of people's argument with mutable energy in general. It's like, you're being too shifty, but it's like,
this is who I am,
This is what makes me feel comfortable, is moving in and out of these spaces like that. Not having to have this rigid schedule, right? You know? But, like, I think I was saying in maybe this video or the other one, predictability makes people feel safe. Yeah. You can't predict what's going to happen with Sagittarius or a lot of these people sometimes in the list.
Bottom, in the bottom for sure.
Bottoms for
Those
sure.
Those are all the flighty ones. Yeah. But I genuinely, and I've said this in other videos where I've talked about Sagittarius energy, I think there are plenty of people that will give you freedom in your relationship where you can still be your flexible self and you're still in a committed, healthy relationship, you know? And I think those are the best relationships for Sagittarius and Gemini, is when they're given that freedom to socialize and go out into the world and bring their findings back to their partner. You know what I mean? Like, that is when they thrive in relationships, is when they can still have those solo experiences. Yeah. And not everything blends together. We don't just become one. You know what I mean? Like, to them, that's cringe, you know? Yes. And even having a serious conversation about why this didn't work, again, to them, it's cringe. Like, these are the things that Sagittariuses contemplate when they're in a serious situation. Yeah. Oh, do I have to talk through this, or can we just like fucking like pretend it didn't happen and like and like one of those is easier for them. So yes, that also probably ties into it, but they want to feel connected. They do well in relationships as long as their individuality is respected. And I don't think you always have the right language when you're younger to express that.
Yeah.
I like you. I want to be in a relationship with you, but will you still let me like go out and do things and like still be myself? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's such an awkward conversation to have.
Yes.
But a lot of relationships will probably be saved if that conversation was had. Early on, you know?
100.
Like, do I have to check in with you all the time? How often do you text your partners? Like, you know what I mean? Can I go on trips? Like, you know, like.
And don't lie now.
Don't lie.
Don't lie.
Yeah. So that's what I think.
No, it's true. And I also think us Sagittarius, like, sometimes we can be bad because we can be selfish in the sense, like, we want our freedom so much that we ignore what our partner wants. Like, it's just like, well, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
Because I'm, like, kind of gung-ho on that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And we're not looking to be like, well, what do you need?
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, I want to do this, so.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that confident energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, are you coming or
you guys are ready to go out into the world and do what makes you feel excited and happy. Yeah. And not again, it's that risk taker. Like, also Sagittariuses are some of the best risk takers.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. And it comes back into that abundance mentality that I love so much about Sagittariuses, but this can tie into why they can be disloyal, maybe, is because they think there's something better out there.
Yeah.
You know? And they're almost like not happy with what is happening right now because they think they can like one up it.
Yeah.
And I think that can tie into that Sagittarius archetype of, oh, this is Jupiter, baby. It can always be bigger and better.
Yes.
You know? Like, the grass is always greener on the other side, which can make some people unfaithful.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. And it always just has you questioning, at the very least, which can be a devil within itself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching part 2 of the video. Again, if you got to the end and you didn't hear your sign, go watch part 1.
Yeah.
But I want to hear what you thought.
Yeah, how did you feel about this?
Of these.
And now that both the lists are there, what is your list? I would love to see your list.
Tell us.
Comment it if you're listening on Apple, Spotify. Leave us a review on the app. Please. Please. Show it to me, Rachel. Please. Yeah, go leave us a review on the app and then come on our YouTube, Charmed and Dangerous. Mm-hmm. The real Charmed and Dangerous. Because there's another Charmed and Dangerous, which is crazy. So yeah, go on YouTube and leave a comment on this video. I want to hear your list because that'll be really, really fun. Mm-hmm. We love you so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.